How to turn work and free time into spaces for growth. We have all felt our sense of time vanish when we lose ourselves in an activity we enjoy. The opposite can also happen when we have to complete a task we don't want to do. Every minute feels like a lifetime, and we can't stop looking at our watch. As the quip attributed to Einstein goes, put your hand on a hot stove for a minute. It seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour. It seems like a minute. That is relativity. What makes us enjoy doing something so much that we forget about whatever worries we might have while we do it? When are we happiest? These questions are also at the heart of psychologist Mihaly. Mihaly's research into being completely immersed in what we are doing. Mihaly called this state flow and described it as the pleasure, delight, creativity, and the process when we are completely immersed in life. In the flow state, we have an optimal experience. In order to achieve this optimal experience, we have to focus on increasing the time we spend on activities that bring us to the state of flow, rather than allowing ourselves to get caught up in the activities that offer us immediate pleasure, like eating too much, abusing drugs or alcohol, or surfing ourselves with chocolate in front of the TV. Most athletes, chess players, and engineers spend much of their time on the activities that bring them to the state of flow. According to Mihaly's research, a chess player feels the same way upon entering a state of flow as a mathematician working on a formula or a surgeon while performing an operation. When we flow, we are focused on a concrete task without any distractions. Our mind is in order. The opposite occurs when we try to do something while our mind is on other things. If you find yourself losing focus while working on something you consider important, there are several strategies you can employ to increase your chance of achieving flow. Strategy number 1: choose a difficult task, but not too difficult. Activities that are too easy lead to apathy. Take on tasks that we have chance of completing, but that are slightly outside our comfort zone. We enjoy the feeling of pushing ourselves. If you are a graphic designer, learn a new software program for your next project. If you are a programmer, learn a new programming language. Add a little something extra, something that takes you out of your comfort zone. Strategy number 2: have a clear, concrete objective. Video games, played in moderation, board games, and the sports are great ways to achieve flow because the objective tends to be very clear: beat your rival or beat your own record. Unfortunately, the objective isn't quite as clear in most situations. Doing things without clear objective is like heading out to a sea with a map but no destination. It is much more important to have a compass pointing to a concrete objective than to have a map. In business, the creative professions and educations alike, it is much more important to reflect on what we hope to achieve before starting to work, study, or make something. Having a clear objective is important in achieving flow, but we also have to know how to leave it behind when we get down to the business. Once the journey has begun, we should keep this objective in mind without obsessing over it. When the Olympic athletes compete for a gold medal, they can't stop to think how pretty the medal is. They have to be present in the moment. They have to flow. If they lose focus for a second, thinking how proud they will be to show the medal to their parents, they will almost certainly commit an error at a critical moment and not win the competition. Strategy number 3: concentrate on a single task. This is probably one of the biggest obstacles we face today. With so much technology and so many distractions with the social media, notifications, and vibrating phones. This also happens sometimes when we put on a movie with dinner and don't realize how delicious the salmon was until we are taking the last bite. We often think that combining tasks will save us time, but scientific evidence has shown that it has the opposite effects. Even those who claim to be good at multitasking are not very productive. In fact, they are some of the least productive people. Our brain can take in millions bits of information, but can only actually process a few dozen per second. When we say we are multitasking, what we are actually doing is switching back and forth between tasks very quickly. Unfortunately, we are not computers, adept at parallel processing. We end up spending all our energy alternating between tasks instead of focusing on doing one of them well. Concentrating on one thing at a time may be the single most important factor in achieving flow. In order to focus, we need to be in a distraction-free environment and to have control over what we are doing at every moment. Here are a few ideas for creating space and time free of distractions to increase our chances of reaching a state of flow. Number 1. Don't look at any kind of screen for the first hour you are awake and the last hour before you go to sleep. Number 2. Turn off your phone before you achieve flow. If this seems too extreme, enable do not disturb function so only the people closest to you can contact you in case of emergency. Number 3. Designate one day of the week a day of technological fasting, making exceptions for e-readers. Number 4. Go to a cafe that doesn't have Wi-Fi. Number 5. Read and respond to email only once or twice per day. Number 6. Try the Pomodoro technique. Number 7. Start your work session with a ritual you enjoy and end it with a reward. Number 8. Train your mind to return to present when you find yourself getting distracted. Practice mindfulness or other form of meditation. Go for a walk or a swim, whatever will help you to get centered again. Number 9. Work in a space where you will not be distracted. If you can't do this at home, go to a library or cafe. If you find that your surroundings continue to distract you, keep looking until you find the right place. Number 10. Divide each activity into a group of related tasks and assign each group its own time and place. For example, if you are writing a magazine article, you could do research and take notes at home in the morning, write in the library in the afternoon, and edit on the couch at night.